Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be doing another top 10 favourite movies by an actor, and the actor I've picked for this video is Rick Moranis. Just an actor I absolutely loved growing up as a kid, watching his movies from the 80s and the early 90s. Sadly, no longer acting today, greatly missed from pictures. I think most of us will agree. Just wanted to talk about 10 of my favourite movies of his. Before I do that, just want to give a shout out to one or two honourable mentions. My Blue Heaven is a great movie with Steve Martin that I really enjoyed, didn't quite make the list for me. LA Story as well. And although I've not seen it, I am trying to get hold of a copy of Little Giants because that movie just looks like a hell of a lot of fun. Just really want to check that movie out. That being said, going to kick it off with number 10. Number 10 for me is a Disney movie. It's not the best movie, but I do enjoy it for what it is. And that is, of course, Brother Bear. So you got Rick Moranis in this. He plays sort of a very sort of, a supporting comedic role in the movie alongside Dave Thomas. I'm going to be talking about another movie with them two in later on. But yeah, this is fine. It's a bit of a predictable plot, this film. The animation in it is great. It's kind of on this list by default just because Rick Moranis is in it. And yeah, I do enjoy it for what it is. There's not really much more else to say about it. So that is my number 10 pick, Brother Bear. Coming in at number 9 for me is a movie I've only seen once, but I did enjoy it. And that is Parenthood with Steve Martin. The reason why this is so sort of low on the list is probably because I don't really remember much about Rick Moranis' character in the film. I do remember him being in it. This movie is one I really enjoyed, but it just didn't have the rewatch factor for me. I'm yet to go back and watch it for a second time. But yeah, I did really like it and really appreciate it for what it was. That's all I can really say about it. Coming in at number 9, we've got Parenthood. Next up at number 8 is a movie I sought out because I saw my good friend Mike over at Cinema Axeman talking about this film. And yeah, wanted to check it out for the longest time. Finally pulled the trigger on it. And it is The Wildlife. Again, another sort of smaller role for Rick Moranis in this movie. He sort of plays this guy who works at this clothes store, but every time you see him, he's got like a different hairstyle. It's very funny. Really, really enjoyed this movie. It does kind of live in the shadow of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but I really enjoyed both movies. I just had a great time with both of them. And yeah, really, really enjoyed this one. A lot of fun, great characters in it. Not much plot, but that's absolutely fine. It's just mainly character driven, and I really, really enjoyed the film. That is number 8, The Wildlife. Coming in at number 7 for me is a movie I absolutely adored. This movie as a kid. I remember seeing it on TV, and for love nor money, trying to get hold of a copy of this movie was just absolutely impossible. Don't know why, that movie is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. First time I saw this, I absolutely adored it. Really loved it. Thought it was just so fun, so cool. Really enjoyed the film. It was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid that was the one I watched the most as a kid, as a child, because that was the one I actually had a physical copy of, and that was the one that was on loop all the time. I think this is the far better movie out of the two. I really enjoy this film. But as I've gotten older, something happens at the ending of this film, and it really makes it a struggle for me to watch. Really hard to watch the movie without getting a lump in my throat, to be honest. And every time that scene comes around, I just absolutely dread it. But it's still a good film. It's still enjoyable. Some of the effects in it are great. You can tell there were a lot of parent complaints from this movie because of how sort of scary it was for children, that they really dumbed down the sort of the scary effects in the second movie, and they just cranked the cuteness up. That's really obvious, but yeah, it's a movie I still really enjoy, and I do get a kick out of it. So yeah, that is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Coming in at number 6 for me is the movie I mentioned before when I was talking about Brother Bear, and that is Strange Brew, starring Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. So yeah, I think this sort of sprouted from their sort of Saturday Night Live sketches, I think it was, and they just made a movie about these two characters that they created, these two Canadians who just love their beer, and the movie just sort of follows this plot of they try and make a complaint about a batch of beer that they bought and end up heading to the brewery where they uncover this sort of evil master plan by Max von Sydow. And it's a really funny movie. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. It's daft. It's silly. There's a bit in this movie, I don't know how the hell they filmed it, which involves a lion. I'm not going to say anything else, but there's this that it just really blew me away. I don't know how the hell they filmed it. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's daft. If you like those types of dim-witted comedies like Dumb and Dumber and Wayne's World, this is one worth checking out. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that is number 6, Strange Brew. So coming in at number 5 for me is another movie from the 80s, I think 1984. Saw this for the first time a couple of years ago and I just thought it was great. And that is Streets of Fire. What can I say about the cast of this movie? It's just absolutely stellar. Too many names to mention. She was like Diane Lane, Willem Dafoe, and of course Rick Moranis himself. Much more of a serious role for him as well. The plot of this movie is just absolutely insane about this rock singer that gets kidnapped, and pretty much everyone is like trying to find out where she's gone. And Moranis is like sort of like the most level-headed he's been in a film, in my opinion. Yeah, just really rational, and just really entertaining to boot, to be honest. It's just an absolutely crazy movie. The music in it is great. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, that is my number 5 pick, Streets of Fire. Coming in at number 4 for me is a musical that I didn't actually really like the first time I saw. I always associate this movie with Child's Play because I had a version of Child's Play taped off the TV, and at the end of the movie there was another TV spot for Little Shop of Horrors, and that's exactly what it is, Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, didn't like it the first time I saw it. On rewatch, it was a much better experience for me. Really, really enjoyed this film. Had a great time with the songs, great time with the characters. I really got into the movie and just absolutely really enjoyed it. But yeah, can't say anything else other than that. Really enjoyed this film. Really enjoyed the creativity behind it. Both cuts to the ending, I think, are great. And yeah, just really, really enjoyed the film. Rick Moranis is great in the movie as well. So yeah, that is Little Shop of Horrors. Coming up next at number 3 is this is a guilty pleasure. This movie. This is what I grew up with. A lot of nostalgia for this film. Is it great? Absolutely not. But I enjoy it nevertheless. So coming in at number 3 is the Flintstones. I enjoy the hell out of this movie. I have an absolute blast with it. I have a great time with it. This is a movie which, for me, has an example of one of the best castings and one of the worst at the same time. For worst, for me, is probably going to be Rosie O'Donnell as Betty Rubble. Everyone knows that was terrible casting. But one of the best is John Goodman as Fred Flintstone. I couldn't see anyone else in the role. And then you've got his sidekick played by Moranis, Barney Rubble. Yeah, he's having fun. He's really tapping into the character. I think he's really got the voice down as well. But yeah, this is a movie where the set pieces and the movie looks great. It looks like a Flintstones movie should be. It just looks phenomenal. Yeah, really enjoy the color aspect of the movie, the set designs. I think that looks great. The plot, however, is just fucking stupid. It really is just bizarre. Wouldn't work. It's totally stupid. No thought's gone into it whatsoever. It's just so daft and just so absurd. But yeah, I still love the movie. I love the cast. I love how it looks, and it's just a good time for me. So yeah, that is number 3, The Flintstones. Coming in at number 2 is, well, I could be slightly cheating here as it's 2 movies, but he's playing the same character in both films, Lois Tully. So yeah, number 2 is Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Again, playing the supporting role in the movie, you know, it's great. These are movies which I think would still be great without Moranis, but it's so good that he's there. I just really enjoy him in these films, especially the first one. It cracks me up when he gets possessed and he becomes the Keymaster. He just has some of the most funny quotable lines. I'm always sort of saying you'll perish in flames when he runs into the bin. It's great. I just really enjoy him in this film. This sort of, you know, Dana Barrett's dim-witted neighbour. He's just really funny in the role, and when he has that party, he invites all his clients round. He's so funny in the movie. Really, really enjoy him. And I enjoy him in the second one as well. I think when he has to sort of take up the mantle of being the Ghostbusters lawyer, he's really, really funny. I just really enjoy him. You can tell he hasn't got a leg to stand on in court. He's just clutching at straws. But yeah, he's really funny playing that character in both these movies. And I just really, really enjoy the hell out of him in them. Yeah, so much fun. But we know what Ghostbusters 1 and 2 are all about. They're great movies. I enjoy both of them. And yeah, that's why it's my number 2 pick for Rick Moranis' top movies for me. So yeah, really, really enjoy both Ghostbusters movies. So yeah, coming in at number 1 is, for me, this is just an absolute classic. I really enjoy this film. It may not be the best film on the list, but yeah, I have a great time with it. It's just a sci-fi, you know, comedy stroke of genius, in my opinion. Really enjoy this film by Mel Brooks. And that is, of course, Spaceballs. I remember seeing the cover to this when I was a kid in a video shop called Music Zone growing up, and I just really wanted to check the movie out. And yeah, eventually got around to picking up the VHS, and the movie was everything I wanted it to be. It was just great. Really got on board with the characters. Really enjoyed that spoof humor that it was taking on Star Wars. Really enjoyed it. The cast is great. Bill Pullman, John Candy, Rick Moranis, and a great cameo from John Hurt as well. This movie just encapsulates fun for me and a good time. So much rewatchability to it as well. The humour for me hasn't quite held up. It doesn't have me howling like it used to. But yeah, I still enjoy it nonetheless. I just think it's such a fun film that I just really, really enjoy it. It's great. I think the whole cast has just such a fantastic chemistry in it. Moranis' Darth helmet as well. It's so funny. Just the oversized helmet, the weird voice he puts on. It's just so much fun. So enjoyable, this movie, and I just have an absolute blast with it. It's classic Mel Brooks humor as well. It just works for me on all counts, and then I can't praise the movie enough. I enjoy it. It's not perfect, but yeah, I have an absolute blast with this film. Yeah, I don't rewatch it too often, but every time I do, it clicks with me as to why I like it, and it's just a fun movie, really, really fun movie that I just really enjoy. And yeah, I can't say much more about it than that. That's why it's my number 1 Rick Moranis movie. I enjoy him in the movie. I enjoy the rest of the cast, and it's a lot of fun. If you've not seen Spaceballs and you enjoy that type of silly spoof humor, sort of in the same vein as Naked Gun and Airplane, you know, I think you'll get a kick out of Spaceballs, because I just really, really enjoy it. So yeah, that is my number 1 Rick Moranis movie, Spaceballs. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Those are my top 10 Rick Moranis movies. I'm going to leave the video there and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.